Many years ago, I reviewed the 1979 movie Tim, starring Mel Gibson and Piper Laurie. It was recently brought to my attention that America did a remake. Oh boy. Today, we review the American remake of an Australian movie based on a novel about an elderly woman and a mentally impaired man who help each other live fulfilling lives. This is 1996's Mary and
Tim.
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 Tim's. Timmy. Tim.
Tim.
Tim. Tim.
Tim. Tim. Tim. Tim. Tim. Tim. Tim. Tim.
Tim.
Tim. Tim.
Tim.
Tim.
Tim. Tim.
Timmy. Tim. Timmy. Tim. 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 Tim Melville.
oh yeah, by the way, did I mention that because he's mentally impaired, everyone starts talking to him by saying his name so that he knows who they're talking to? At least they only say his name 57 times in this movie compared to the 63 of the original. The movie begins with Mary, played by Candice Bergen, watching workout tapes as she eats milk and cookies.
4, now bend to the earth. Reach, touch, 2.
This is supposed to convey to us that she's depressed and sad and never leaves her house, but that's totally not true. She almost immediately tells her neighbor that she has a full day of volunteering in an animal shelter, going out on a date, running a successful business. Then we meet Tim, who gets convinced by his coworkers to look into the nozzle of a garden hose to find a clog. Throughout the movie, Mary refers to him as impaired, but I think it's way more than that. We get a scene of him watching his sister and her fiance literally play doctor, and he has to be told this is inappropriate.
Mom says it's time to wash up for supper.
Tim, don't ever do that.
Mom told me to.
He is 30 years old and being told, hey, don't spy on people having sex, knock before you enter rooms. And we know this is the first time he was told this because he quotes the literal line back later in the movie. I don't know where is a good time in this review to bring this fact up, but this movie is about Candice Bergen having sex with a beep guy. Anyway, we are only about 30 seconds into the plot of this movie. After Tim falls into Mary's flower bed, she makes a deal with the dad to repair the flowers. Tim comes by first thing in the morning, and because he's a full-service kind of guy, oh God, he is. Because he's a full-service kind of guy, he also mows her lawn at the ungodly hour of 9 a.m. Not a euphemism, he actually does mow her lawn.
Would you stop? I'd like... Stop!
After a quick introduction to each other,
Tim.
Tim. Mary. Mary Horton.
Mary Horton?
Mary.
that's the last time I'll do quick cuts, I promise. After an introduction to each other, Mary goes to work and her coworker immediately makes a joke about how she should fuck Tim.
He can most definitely garden, and he's charming.
Charming is important in a gardener. At least Lady Chatterley thought so.
At the same time, Tim accidentally makes a little bit of a sex joke himself.
I'm gonna be a gardener for the lady next door to my other job.
I could use a little work myself. Tell me your secret.
I fell into the lady's bed.
Mary is so impressed by Tim's work ethic that she hires him to work on her garden. Not a euphemism. Although it kind of is a euphemism because later on she does want him to work on her garden. But we're not to that point in the movie yet. Shh. Mary is explaining to Tim everything he needs to do in the garden, and he is getting very close to her. She is uncomfortable and trying to back away, but not because a strange man is getting close to her, but because she is embarrassed that she definitely wants to have sex with the handicapped guy.
For example, the shelling peas go there, and the snap peas go over here, and
She watches him a little too closely as he's working in the garden. Getting stared at while shirtless is normal. We're talking about gardening here.
No, we're talking about sexual harassment here.
Although it should be incredibly obvious to anyone paying attention even a little bit that Tim isn't all there, this is where Mary will claim throughout the movie that she finally figured it out.
I didn't need the plan.
but I asked you to use the plan for a reason. I like to rotate my crops.
I did. I rotated. I can tell where you planted things last year by the old leaves and vines on the ground.
You cost us thousands of dollars because you can't read.
Tim, can you read?
Okay, I get it. You might not like all the added little clips, but I have to make myself laugh somehow. I know how this movie ends, and their relationship's starting to get a little too uncomfortable for me.
I admit he's painfully attractive and very sweet and really very pleasant to be with.
Mary is introduced to the rest of the family, and his sister has the same reaction as I have during this review.
All he ever talks about is what's growing, what's blooming.
And Mary.
His boss, the old lady gardener type.
Oh, Mary, I'm Esther. I'm Tim's mother.
Everyone else sees she's hot, right? She's hot, not an old lady. My girl Justine is out there spitting truth this whole movie.
I don't think Justine likes you.
Why not?
She says you're too young.
You're attracted to my brother whether you're willing to admit it or not.
Mary keeps trying to say, oh no, we're just friends, and I'm looking for a deeper relationship. I got you on tape.
I admit he's painfully attractive.
Gotcha, bitch.
If you care at all about the plot of this movie, instead of my accusations of Mary being a sexual predator, she does teach Tim how to read, impressing both the mother and Justine, but horrifying Justine's new in-laws that he's 30 and can't read.
Frog walked into the house. It was dark. Shutters were closed. Way, said the voice from a corner of the room.
When his sister's mother-in-law-to-be expresses that she doesn't want Tim embarrassing their family at the wedding reception, Mary comes up with a solution. Hey, why don't you leave your easily coercible son alone with me for the weekend? On the beach, where I'll be wearing a bathing suit, and I swear I don't find him attractive.
He's painfully attractive.
Tim is falling for Mary, unknowingly kind of feeding her fetish. Okay, I'm sorry, but why, movie? Why? Why does this end with them getting married? Why?
When I'm around, I can tell right away you feel happy.
Okay, back to the plot. We get a sad turn as Tim's mom dies. She just drops dead in the middle of the kitchen, and Mary starts to comfort Tim's dad and promises to take care of him so that Tim doesn't have to go to a mental institution. Tim walks in on this and isn't happy. As I try to say the word Tim more than this movie does, they make out, okay? They make out. Why? Why? my detailed script and notes turn into this MS Paint document, and that's our movie. Everyone eventually ends up being okay with their relationship and attends their wedding. Oh, that's totally not true. There is one more scene where Tim's dad asks him straight up if him and Mary are fucking.
Have you been to bed with Mary? Have you kissed her? Made love to her?
Overall, I think you can figure out how I feel about this movie. Just the constant bringing up how good looking he is to everybody that Mary sees. I just couldn't get over it. So I just skimmed through the original, and I was drinking a lot of vodka when I watched that movie. I did not remember the movie ends with them fucking. That's like the final scene. At least in this one, they only get married. But in that one, her psychiatrist, Mary's psychiatrist suggests that they get married. That dude should be whatever the psychiatrist version of disbarred is. He's a mentally handicapped man. Do not let this woman have sex with him. Cast on this one. Let me try to get through this again. Candice Bergen plays Mary. Tom McCarthy plays Tim. He's won an Oscar for Writing Spotlight, nominated for an Oscar for Directing Spotlight. Richard Kelly plays Tim's dad. He was in The Thornburgs with Piper Laurie, which is who played Mary in the original, and Thornburgs is also written by the same person that wrote the novel this movie is based on. Kelly Williams plays his sister, Justine. She was Lindsay in The Practice, and the mom is played by Shirley Knight, who was nominated for 2 Oscars in 1961 and 1963 for Best Supporting Actress. Well, that's enough time spent on this movie. Pretty similar from the first one, actually, more than I thought so. There's a slight change in how they meet each other, but other than that, pretty much same movie. The original actually had sex in it, which is uncomfortable. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall try to do better next time. Here's a clip from a movie I will be reviewing in the future.
He is evil incarnate. No soul, no spark of good left in him. It was beaten out. Let me tell you a story.